vistarenatmano yogam vibhutincha janardana bhuyah kathaya triptirhi shrinvato nasti me mritam. Translation. Tell me again in detail your divine glories and manifestations, O Janardan. I can never tire of hearing your nectar. In the previous chapter, Sri Krishna had instructed Arjuna to engage in devotion and attach his mind to him. In this chapter, he said, I will tell you my glories, which will nourish devotion in your heart. We understood the principle that knowledge leads to faith, which results in love. And Sri Krishna went on to explain in this chapter, Aham sarvasya prabhavo, look, I am the cause of all causes and the source of all material and spiritual universes. Subsequent to that, Arjuna said, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, O Sri Krishna, you are the Supreme Divine Personality. There is nothing beyond you. All the great sages in scriptures have said it, and today you are declaring it yourself. O Sri Krishna, he says, in the previous verse now, in 16 and 17, I wish to hear your glories further, which will nourish that devotion. Please tell me how I may meditate on you. What mindset should I keep towards you in my worship? How should I connect with you? So he will emphasize his question further, and then Sri Krishna's answer will begin. Having heard Sri Krishna's glories, Arjuna's thirst has been quenched and further ignited. This is the nature of the divine rasa. Bharahi nirantar hohi na pure. There is dynamic satiation and further thirst. The difference between worldly rasas and the divine rasas is precisely this. The worldly rasa never satiates you. For three reasons. It is finite, decreasing, and temporary. Let us say a new movie is released, Hollywood, Bollywood, and you say, wow, there's an opportunity for us. We will not see it on Netflix. We'll go to that Indian cinema hall and see it. And there, the first time you really enjoyed Shah Rukh Khan and company. The beginning, the rush was so much. And a few days went by. Your uncle came from Waco and said, I've heard of the new Indian movie that is on the cinema halls. Come, let's go and see it. Uncle, I've seen it, but to give you company, I'll go. Now the rasa has decreased. And then your auntie came from Louisville and said, Beta, Let's go and see that movie. Auntie, give me any other torture, but don't force me to see the movie a third time. So the worldly rasa is pratikshana ghataman. Arambha gurvi kshiyanti kramena, like your shadow. When you see it in the morning, it's so large. Once a fox, in the morning, he glanced at his shadow. He said, "Today I need an elephant for breakfast, because I'm so big." And by midday, the shadow had decreased. And you see, even if I get an ant for lunch, it'll be all right. So the worldly rasa is decreasing. It is finite. It transforms into boredom, and one day it finishes. That kind of rasa doesn't satisfy your soul. The kind of thrill your soul has been thirsty for since eternity is a ras which will be sat plus chit plus anand, which will be infinite in extent, which will remain permanently, and which will be ever fresh. This is the rasa of God. Nitya Navaiman Pratikshana Vardhamanam. Shankaracharya says, Dine Dine Navam Navam Namami Nanda Sambhavam. You see Sri Krishna, oh my God, so enchanting. Close your eyes, see again. Oh, even more attractive than before. Close your eyes, now again look. This is the biggest astonishment. So he's ever fresh. That is why the devotee doesn't say, I've said Radhe Sham enough times, now I'm bored. No more Radhe Sham. You keep on taking the name of God day in, day out for the rest of your life. The rasa only keeps on increasing. Likewise it is with hearing the glories of God. When you have love in your heart, you never tire of that Shravanam. So that is why the nature of this divine rasa is Prema mein Purnima nahi. Yesterday was the Purnima. The moon reached its fullness, and today it will start decreasing. But love never decreases if it's divine love. So, Bharahi Nirantar Hohi na Pure. When Bhagavan Ram reached the hermitage of Valmiki, on the third day of his travel into the forest. Now, Valmiki is a sage and Ram is God. But Ram is doing Nar Leela. Ram is pretending to be human. So, as appropriate for somebody in household, he offered his respectful obeisance to Valmiki and then put forth his question. Maharshi, I need to spend 14 years in the forest. Can you please guide me where I should stay? Valmiki said, Ram, I will definitely answer your question, where you should stay for 14 years. But prior to that, you have to answer my question. You tell me, where in this forest do you not stay? पूछे हूँ मोही कि रहो कहो मैं पूछत सक जाऊं जहाँ न हो तह देहु के ही तुम ही दिखावा ठाऊं. You are the all-pervading God. You are sitting in every atom of creation, and you are asking me where should you reside? This is your inconceivable Leela. Nevertheless, if you have asked me, Jinke Shravan Samudra Samana Katha Tumhari Subhag Sarinana, those devotees of yours whose ears are like the ocean, for your katha, narration of your glories. Bharahi nirantar ho hi na pure tinke hiya tum kahu griharure. The oceans never say to the river, enough now, stop flowing into me. I am satiated. They keep receiving and remain thirsty. Those devotees who have such a thirst for the narration of your glories, my Lord, O Sri Ram, you reside in their hearts. So Arjun here says, Bhuyah Kathaya Triptir. Once more, Sri Krishna, please continue. I am not satiated from the nectar that is emanating from your lips. So actually, Sri Krishna's glories is like nectar. But the figure of speech in literature is called hyperbole, where to emphasize the property, you say nectar is emanating. You don't say nectar like words are emanating, you say nectar is emanating. So Arjuna has used the hyperbole here. And he now says, Janardana, O most kind-hearted Sri Krishna. A person who is benevolent towards others is called Janardan. Compassionate towards fulfilling the needs of others. So people give what they have in plenty. Somebody goes and gives food grains to others who don't have enough to eat. Others provide education and employment to people. Because if you get someone a job, you ensure that they are fed for long. Otherwise, you just give somebody food, after 6 hours they are hungry. But the saints say that the most benevolent work you can do is to reconnect the soul with God. This is the compassion of the saints. That is why the gopis, during the Gopi Geet, which is considered the highest expression of Bhakti in the 18,000 verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the gopis say, Tava katha mritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham shravana mangalam srimadaatatam bhuvi grinanti te bhuri rajana. They say, Sri Krishna, when our heart burns in the fire of longing to meet you, the Viraha Agni, at that time, when narrators relate your glories, your katha, that gives us so much of relief. It quenches the fire. And those who narrate this katha are Bhuri Rajana, extremely munificent, benevolent people. So, giving God to others is a great act of charity. Of course, who can give God? But the fact is that God enters the heart more through the ears than He does through the eyes. You go and sit and have darshan in the temple, He will enter. But if you hear His glories, He will enter more deep. And Arjun now is beseeching Sri Krishna for that kind of grace by invoking his virtue of being Janardan, kind-hearted person. So through the Gita, Arjun refers to Sri Krishna by different names at the appropriate time, and Sri Krishna responds to Arjun by different names indicating different virtues. Here the word used for Krishna is Janardan.